What's up, my people? Welcome back to Vertical Football. Welcome back to another episode of the weekend preview show. Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. Guys, a lot of talking points in terms of how we preview the game. So guys, let's analyze the game really. It's great to have you with us. So let's analyze the game. So first and foremost, we're on a good run. As you guys have seen, 3 wins on the bounce. And one of the funny things, I think I've said it on the podcast before, but I think it's becoming to show that our fan base is a very funny fan base. United fans are funny people, really. I like their passion, but I have to say they are funny. In the sense of when United loses, it looks like the end of the world. When United wins, it is like the world is so good, everything is possible. So, for example, when we're losing the games, we have some people saying, we're going to relegate, we're going to finish 15th. And all of a sudden, we went just 3 games on the bounce, and I'm hearing United fans even talking about the title. I'm not going to say whether we're going to win the title or not, but I think what I would just say is a game at a time. Really, a game at a time. You cannot, in life, in football, you control what you can control, really. And what you can control is your game as a player, as a manager. Each match, give it your best, get your point. One thing about the league, and which we have seen after these 3 games on the bounce, is that other teams will drop points. That's a normal thing in the Premier League. But when you keep winning, then at the end of the season, you now see where you are. So I'm not at that pressure or that expectation of the Premier League. I think it's too high, if I'm being honest with you guys. People are saying, oh, you're not ambitious enough. It's not a matter of ambition. I think it's too high. Just the next game. Just in the same, not we're going to win the Premier League or we are just playing 1 game a week. All those things are, but I understand United fans. When we lose, it's the end of the world. The world should end. When we win, like 3 week games on a bounce, it's like we're in heaven. Everything is possible. We can win the league and everything. So guys, that's United fans for you. So let's go into Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. Nottingham Forest has one of the most, in my opinion, interesting coaches. Is one of the coaches that when I tell people I find interesting, they are like, really, what do you find interesting in him? I like him. That's Sean Dyche. I like him because of the simplicity in how he approaches the game in terms of defend, counter, sit on the low block, hit on the counter, and other things which we will analyze in this game. So for me, it's a very simplistic manager. He's not a manager that does a lot of inverting, a lot of all those new age practices in terms of new age practices in football. He's very, very direct. He's plain. The ideas are clear. As a player, it's going to be very easy to be a player under him because the instructions are not going to be confusing. The instructions are going to be do this, don't do this. And I think that's one of the things I like about him. But now he's playing against our club, United. So guys, Nottingham Forest, what Nottingham Forest will give us as a threat, I think clearly they will sit back. They will sit back. They've not won. I think they've not won any Premier League game the last 4, right? Even Sean Dyche's first game in the Premier League, that was against Bournemouth. I think they lost that game. I think 2-0. So they are not going to come out. But I feel that what I've seen about Sean Dyche and what I've watched in Nottingham Forest will be smart. Nottingham Forest will be smart in how they play. And Van Dijk and Sean Dyche teams are always very smart. They're always teams that have passion. They're always teams that they know where they can hurt you and they will try to hurt you. And one of the ways they will try to hurt you, as you know, is the transitions, the counter-attacks, right? And when you look at the likes of Odoi, look at the likes of Gibbs White, look at the likes of, even Ndoye, right? And their striker Igor, I think they know where they can use to hurt us. And I think for them, it's just plain. Sit and then hurt them where it pains more. That's why for Man United, our defensive transition needs to be better. It needs to be better. It wasn't good against Brentford, and now it's going to be another test. Yeah, even though we are using 3 at the back with a single pivot in Casemiro on our defensive transition, they are going to test that. And so, where we want to defend in defensive transition, our left wing back, right wing back need to be on their best game because the most of the transition will come from those areas and those guys need to be there. They need to be able to win those battles, really. Need to be able to win those battles. Now, for United, I've said what Nottingham Forest will tend to propose us, sit on the back and then eat, and our defensive line need to be very. But United, I feel, this game is a game. When you look at the way Sean Dyche has played over the years, it's always about crowding your team at one side of the pitch, right? So when you are with the ball on the right, they crowd you there on the right, right? So for United to be able to play out of that, pinning to the right or to the left, we need to have very, very good switch of play and very fast and effective switch of play. And a switch of play where we don't show them our body. So if you pass to me, I don't need to turn to do switch of play, because when I turn to do switch of play to maybe my wing back or my inside forward, the defense I know it's early in Nottingham Forest. It's early in Nottingham Forest. So I want to see how those players, how they respond to the instructions is giving them. But a proper Sean Dyche team is a team that when you want to switch play, you don't turn. Because the moment you give your body language of turning, the defensive line can know where you want to play to, and they will cover that area. And sometimes they might dispossess you and go on a counter. So what we'll do is, as United, is when they crowd us to the right or to the left, depending on the game, we need the likes of Casemiro, for example, or Bruno, to, like this, give accurate. So don't turn your body to show them. Just, find a way to give them long to the wing backs and to the inside forward. And I feel that's one way we can all them keep switching the play. Make those their low block, make them tired, make them frustrated, right? Make them lose concentration. So, and I feel this game is also going to be very, very important for our wing backs. Our wing back need to, create maximum width. We need to stretch them. We need to stretch them. We need to also be careful of what we do in those zones, right? Our inside forward needs to, the likes of Kuna and Mbeumo, they need to know carefully the risk they take in front of the red zone. Carefully, because this team is a team, they are prim and proper in terms of the manager will tell them, and under Nuno, you see the way Nottingham Forest also played. So they are not new to that in terms of they eat on the counter and they hurt you. So we have to be very careful in terms of our passes. No risky passes. No passes into the red zone. No too much risk into the red zone. Let it be calculated. If there are going to be one or two tricks and flicks, but make sure that they don't dispossess you just like that and counter press like that, or go on the counter attack like that. Make sure that when they fall you down, it's a free kick for you. So there are a lot of things that United players need to understand. We need to be smart. We don't need to take too much risk, because this is a team that centrally, if they can get us, they will hurt us in terms of transition, and they can also hurt us in the wing. That's why our wing backs are going to be very, very important. Very, very important in this game. And I believe if we do that, we really will do well. So another thing I think that they will want to use against us is that we need to understand the movement of Morgan Gibbs White. I've watched a few of the games on that, and I know it's a 4-4-1-1 formation. Some people call it a 4-2-3-1, but it's a 4-4-1-1 formation, an hybrid of like a 4-4-2, where Gibbs White can move forward, he can come back for Sean Dyche. So we have to know how to deal with his movement into attack and into the midfield. I think we need to do into that, and how we are able to match that overload in the midfield. I think that's going to be very, very important. Very, very important. So guys, not to waste any time, let me jump to the starting 11. I think for me, start the match, the team that played against Brighton, don't move anybody. In terms of start with Lament, start with Shaw, Delete and Euro. Dalo, Ahmad, Mbeumo, Kuna, Bruno, Casemiro in midfield, and Sesko. I think just start with there and let's see. I know Mason Mount will be needed in this game, but I think it's also about to see how the movement of Gibbs White is. And don't be surprised, Mason Mount might start because of that. Gibbs White role is something that we need to find a way to deal with. Fantastic player Gibbs White, but we need to find a way to deal with. So guys, for the prediction, I just want us to win. We've won 3 games on a roll. And one of the things about the Premier League or the league is consistency. So you need to keep winning. You need to keep winning. And for me, you just have to win this game. Find a way to win this game. Be smart. I felt in the 3 games that we've won, we were smart. We were really, really smart. I think against Brighton, we took a lot more risk. But nevertheless, we were smart and we were calculated in our risk that we're taking. So today, that's the next game. We need to, that's against Nottingham Forest. We need to be smart. Yeah, I know it's an away game. You have to take a little bit more risk, but be careful of the risk. Don't take the risk into the danger zones. And our defensive transition, how we defend when we lose the ball, really, really matters. We need to be, on our best, really, on our best. So guys, these are my opinions. I won't give a scoreline, but I just hope that we win, really, because we need to win that game, an away game, to be the second away game we've won in 4 games. So guys, thank you very much for sticking with me. I remain my humble self, Shegun. This is my analysis on the Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. Guys, I know you have your opinions about the game, what you think is going to happen. Feel free to comment in the comment section. And let me also say a big thank you for the love. Really, we feel the love from TikTok, from Facebook, from Instagram, from Twitter. You guys are coming and showing us love. Yeah, and we want to build this community. So please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Please like this video, share this video to people. We are giving you the best. And I thank you for appreciating that we try our best to give you the best, but don't enjoy the goodness alone. Share to your fellow friends and family. Until I see you next time. Bye.